Hi guys, welcome back to another quick card pull. This is being filmed on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026. Today we're pulling from the Game of Thrones tarot cards. So in my mind's eye, the card that I was seeing, they told me to pull from this deck, was the Four of Cups. So we got this yesterday. We've been getting knockings of this for a while. They said 3 weeks time, so around June 15th. Something coming out of the blue. So I feel like this is one of your manifestations that you wanted, something being offered. So think about what you probably want the most, or something that's been you've been asking a lot about, and I feel like that's what's going to come forward, is what they're saying. So they're showing the Ten of Spears. So for some people, this is a busy time, you know what I mean, of year, like especially myself, because I do garden beds this year, or not this year, we're doing flower beds, but you know what I mean? It's like, I don't find it tedious, because it's like a labor of love, I would say. You know what I mean? Where you have to bring the flowers in because, you know what I mean? I probably could have left them out last night, but I'm just like, it's just like that 1 hour is 4, and it's like, you don't know, the temperatures fluctuate so much. It's like, do I really risk it? You know what I mean? Because we bought our flowers, and I was just like, you know, they're beautiful. Some of them, one basket we got was frostbitten, but I just love the blooms, and we've loved it back to life. So it's just like, you know, all the love we put into it is really worth it, you know, and I'm already walking sunny anyway, so it's just like, you know, what an extra task, and it's like, it's not gonna happen forever, you know what I mean? Like, you'll be able to leave the baskets and stuff out, so I feel like it's just, you know what I mean? They're saying the light at the end of the tunnel, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, here, it's like the frost temperatures where we can't plant the seedlings yet. I haven't done the garden bed yet, because I'm just like, well, I'll start picking at it, you know what I mean? It's like, we're way ahead of schedule than we were. Like, I've mentioned this because usually it's my vacation of this year. Thank God we didn't wait for that, because literally my vacation was pushed. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's when you follow your intuition, even if you have to bring them inside. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a greenhouse. They're showing a greenhouse where you can put them in there overnight and they can, you know, survive being outside. But still, you would have to take them out. But again, a labor of love. But I feel like, again, it's just like ticking the boxes of things getting done. And you know what I mean? If you're like myself and it makes your brain feel so much better, it's like, it'll get done. You know what I mean? If it doesn't get done today, it'll get done tomorrow. You know, I have priorities that I have to take care of every day. Anything else that happens after that, it'll happen. Page of Cups. So literally, Sun's birthday is tomorrow, and it's just like, I don't feel like it's hanging so tightly to fear losing them. It's just like, you know, a lot of us, you know, when I dream about my kids, I always dream them as babies. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of parents do that. It's just like, you know, that's, you know, who the best times is when they're small. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you're the world and doing projects and dancing and pools and all the fun things, going to the park and all the good stuff that we would do, going to the zoo, you know what I mean? Going fishing, you know, but you know what I mean? It's a bittersweet time, because, like, you know, they're their own individuals, and you know what I mean? It's just like, you still get to do fun things together by, you know, by God's grace, and you know what I mean? It's just, now you have to share them more, but you know what I mean? I feel like that's why I feel like they're saying you're hanging so tightly, and if you're losing them, you're never going to lose them. They're always going to be your heart. You know what I mean? Like, you're their parent. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, some of you, maybe this is a relationship or something you're hanging on to, and if you're losing it, but you know what I mean? Again, it's just like things in life. It's just, you know, you got to be logical about it, and it's just, you can't hold people back from, you know, living their lives, because you know what? It's like, if the shoe was on the other foot, you wouldn't want to feel that way. So 8 of Coins came up, and I'm like concentrating on work endeavors, work out on display. But this is like change your perspective. So something may have happened. So that happened with me, but it's like, I already knew this, like, you know what I mean? But, I feel like this could also be in where you're passionate about, you know what I mean? A labor of love, because this is like, you know, time consuming, you know what I mean? Very, you know, delicate, detailed pieces, you know, they put their heart into it. And this is what I always say to my sons when they give me art pieces and stuff like that. I'm like, this means more to me than anything, because I know how much time, blood, sweat, and tears you put into this, and your heart went into it. That's what matters to me. You know what I mean? And I have their art pieces everywhere. So it's just like, you know, puts a smile on my face to see their artwork everywhere. So it's just like, you know, it depends on the person. But again, this is your work on display, or someone's work out on display, or this is like changing your perspective with that. You know what I mean? They're saying there's justice underneath. You know what I mean? Not trying to jump ahead or anything like that. So it's just like balance being restored, or, you know what I mean? Something didn't go your way, but the way that I see it, I'm like, you know what? There's a reason for everything. There's something that I'm not seeing. You know what I mean? They usually give me knockings and stuff, which I'm very thankful for, because they really did give a real potent message in it. Thankfully, I was just like, no, let's like be precautious here. And sure enough, it was on the security camera. So it's just like, I just feel like this is getting lost in your passion, which is beautiful. Like, who doesn't love that? You know, gardening, doing your flower beds, like, you know what I mean? Like, when you, like, that's what I mean. It's a labor of love. Like, you know what I mean? It's like when everything is all set and the season is good and the soil's warm enough to sow the seeds, and when all of that starts coming in, oh my gosh. If you are someone that loves plants, it's like, or in flowers and all that good stuff, it's just like, it makes your heart swoon. It's like, there's nothing better. So, you know what I mean? Take it the way that you want to, and if it speaks to you, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? There's something that you love. This could be even simply sitting outside enjoying the weather. You know, God bless, what a wonderful life that you get to sit outside and just, you know, bask in the sun, and, you know, not cooking yourself or anything like that, but just hear the wind rustling through the leaves. It's just, you know what I mean? That the sounds that just bring you peace, meditation. Changing our perspective, leveling up is what I feel, just especially with the body expanding in the way that it is. This could be you doing stretches. They're saying Tai Chi. I'm sure everybody's seen those ads. But you know what I mean? Just like, it's something so simple of doing stretches, where I do Pilates stretches on the ground, as well as weights. You know what I mean? And it's like really strengthening your core. You know, I do also, the next day I will do just free weights. You know what I mean? Just to really, you know, highlight certain parts of my body or certain muscles. You know what I mean? Even walking, it highlights certain muscles of your body. So, you know, maybe like they're saying here, while you're walking, you're actually bringing free weights with you. And you're bringing that into it. So it's just like, it's not only are you, you know, working your leg muscles and allowing your body to pump the blood from your heart to your feet all the way back up smoothly. It's like other ways. Other things is just like, I feel like late night snacking for myself, you know, more of carrots, and we were lucky enough to have hummus this week, so you know what I mean? Just like different things, you know, or combinations, like they're showing cucumbers and hummus. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, sometimes we'll just sprinkle a little bit of onion powder, but it is a warmer spice, so if you are going through the change of life, it's like that will trigger hot flashes, so maybe you have to stay away from that, but, you know, Shane's sister-in-law actually, it was funny the way she said it. She goes, I hide it under I hide the vegetables. I'm like, what do you mean? You know, and she's like, she would put it in her pasta sauces and no one would know or anything like that, but it's healthy. But she's like, you know, she would put the, depending what she cooked, she would put it on top of the like broccoli or whatever. And it's just like, hey, they're still getting the nutrition they need. They just don't realize it. I'm like, that's good. You know, so, you know, keeping them in the house, like, you know, apples, simple things, simple snacks that you could snack on. And it's just like, you know, especially later at night, you know what I mean? It's like you get a little peckish, and, you know, with myself, I work until the wee hours in the morning. So it's just something simple and light. And it's basically water. It's, you know what I mean? It's just, it fills your stomach, and you know what I mean? It's good for your body. You're not just sleeping on something. You know what I mean? I know not always we can do that, but you know what I mean? Just slip it in there once in a while, or, you know, try to slip it a couple of times a week. I just feel like this is like strengthening, especially the muscles. It's just like showing, you know, getting more leaner is the word they're using. So if this is going by, like, you know, something happened where you make your money, it's changed your perspective, there will be justice in this. And they're showing the Nine of Pentacles to show that there's a rebirth happening here. You know what I mean? So sometimes, you know, things happen, we don't understand it. Like they said, it's a redirection. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's just like, go with the flow. Like, this is what I was talking about last night when I was doing the daily card pull. You know what I mean? It's just like, we could put our energies into negative situations and work ourselves up and waste our energy and be like, and bitch about it. Yeah, no one's saying you don't have the right to bitch, of course. But the thing is, you got to find the balance. It's like, okay, I'm done bitching. Let's move on from this. You know what I mean? And move forward. Because it's just, like I said, hey, I don't know what the reason is. You know, it actually worked out a little bit more better for myself. You know, probably something I'll bring into, you know, my next one. You know, so again, changing perspective that way. Also, justices or even balance, starting off from the first card. If you do feel like, you know, there's just like, you know, I kick off one thing and 10 more things come in out of the blue. You know what I mean? And it's just like things you didn't think of. It's okay. It's just like taking your time and being patient. I feel like more information is needed here. I definitely feel like more information. So I feel like that's where Spirit is saying, like, being patient as, things happen. I feel like this is like filing away for later. We knew what happened. We're not going to make a stink about it. And then it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, yep, this is why this happened. And all the pieces start to fall into place. So you can take that puzzle piece, or, they're showing dominoes. It's going to be a domino effect. Put it away for later and just sit on it. That's all you have to do. Don't worry about it. This does not require any action on your part. Everything is going to work out in your favor. Like I said, if we don't understand, it's a redirection, or something is supposed to come in that time period, just go with it. So the 9 of coins. So, they definitely are highlighting a pregnant belly. So someone may be getting pregnant, or they're about to give birth. This is also maybe you giving birth to something. Highlighting again that 8 of coins, where it's just like something you've worked on is about to have a rebirth. You know what I mean? It's just like, keep posting, keep doing what you're doing, because the right eyes will get on it. You know what I mean? Is it paintings? Is it going to farmer's market is what they're showing, and you're selling something in the farmer's market, and you're going to break that ceiling. It's cracking. It's just like, we need a little bit more. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you hit the right pressure point. It may not look like a lot of action is going on, and you hit it in the right spot, the whole thing will cave in. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like, it may not see like there's a lot of outer action going on, but that's okay. Just keep going. Just keep hitting that ceiling. It's going to shatter. They're showing the magician as showing to reconfirm who you are, by saying you already have what you need. It's already a part of you. You already possess what it takes to move forward. This is grounding energies. You know what I mean? They're showing that crimson red color. It's like, this is your grounding forces. Because, maybe you should do this. Don't listen to anyone else. If you love what you're doing, like I literally said, I was doing, and she's someone fabulous I love reading for as well. And she's someone new to me. It's been less than a handful of times I've read for her. And it's just like, she's blessed me a million times over. Like I did, like, you know what I mean? I was just doing this for a girlfriend. And you know what I mean? It's like, I'm reading for her, and it's like 3 hours have gone by. I thought it was 2. It's actually 3. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's already 2? I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? I got things I got to get done. So just like, and I told her it's like a busy week, and I'm like, we have Shavuot and all that coming up. And, she was really awesome about it. But, I'm very thankful, because, you know what I mean? Especially the potent ones, when they go into numerology really deep, and the planets and everything like that, and the people are open into receiving those messages. I'm just very thankful for that, because you're exercising that muscle, you know what I mean? Where you can really get into your passions. So Judgment, so Libra scales again, look at the way that his arms are standing. So again, balance is being restored. Could be highlighting the winter time, or someone that's born in the winter time. But Judgment is always about leveling up. So, clairaudience, clairvoyance, like I said, like someone said something, chicken head, and it's like, take it with a grain of salt. And then, Spirit was like, don't, because of this. And then again, like it showed up on the camera. I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean? So it's just like, be like, they were like the post I did late last night, where it's like being open to all signs and symbols, messages, clairvoyance, clairaudience, be open to receiving. And when you receive it, or like in the case of like receiving, it's like, thank you for hearing me. You know what I mean? When your actual manifestations happen, and you're putting it out to the world, it's like, thank you for hearing me. Page of Swords. Page of Swords cuts through to the truth. So I feel like we're still getting to the truth, but I feel like it's like someone's afraid to tell you the whole truth. They're afraid. So like Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. I feel like that's what they're saying. Or someone is telling you little bits of truth, but a lot of lies. Like, this happened, but they didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I added on this. You know what I mean? So, or they'll sit there and talk about something. They'll add a little bit, but they'll never admit to what they added on. And your reaction is what they're going to tell everybody. So definitely watch who and how you're saying things to people, because misconstrued. I feel like this is someone that's trying to manipulate truth. Three of Swords, so around this time of year, maybe there is an anniversary or something that kind of hits at your heart. Like, you know what I mean? It's always a part of us, and we learn to build around it. 15:15 on the timer. So it's just like, making space for that. Like I said, making space for your feelings, but don't let it drag you down. So for us, our anniversary is coming up. It would have been 19 years, so, especially when you're not saying goodbye, it's just like a temporary separation, depending how you see things and know things, depending on your reality of things, take what resonates. But you know what I mean? I feel like it's just like, for me, I always say what a blessing is for the time that we had together. You know what I mean? We can look at it the other way and drown ourselves in our sorrows, or we can, you know what I mean? Like when they're saying the 8 of Cups, you know what I mean? Where it's just like we're grounding ourselves, or we're choosing to move forward. And it's like they're moving forward. They're there for all celebrations, everything. You know what I mean? So it's just, like I said, be open to signs and symbols. So I feel like, like a rainbow. So unconditional love may be something significant. Birds of the air may be something significant. So on that day or around that day, 1616, be open to receiving. Blue butterfly, that's what we saw when he passed away. So blue butterflies may be something significant. So here, not so much butterflies I've seen. Not so much already. They're showing the 4 of coins. So again, where it's like the Page of Cups. Holding something close to our chest in the fear of losing it, and you're not going to lose it. So double confirmation of this, work endeavors, or in this is usually a financial state or something close to home, close to the heart that we're afraid of losing. And Spirit is just reconfirming, hey, you have, let's ground ourselves in this energy that you have nothing to fear. Especially with this, they're saying super blue moon. I know it was just a regular blue moon, but still a rarity. You know what I mean? And it's just like, taking time to, in the seated position, it's like take time to relax, or in a seated position, being calm and patient as things unfold. You may not have all the information, and yet you will, that Justice card is popping up here. There's something that you're afraid of, or it's something you're waiting for, and they're just like, documents. They're showing the word legal. So that should be coming soon. 2 of Spears again, with 2 balance, but also with Spears in this case, it's like looking out to our future. And this is where it's like, don't get carried away. Don't future trip. It's like, Spirit has your back as you move forward. You know what I mean? There is a cup right behind her. So remember, we posted this last night. The universe spoils you. The universe fills your cup. You don't depend on others. Yeah, there may be people that do fill your cup, and what a blessing to have in your life, but don't forget that they fill it for you. Like, they're there to support you. They have your back. So you keep on dreaming big. You keep on your dreams, your aspirations, your seedlings. You keep sowing them. You keep planting them. You keep watering them. You keep fertilizing them. Everything. Nurture them. 1818. You keep doing everything you need to do. They're showing 19, but then 9. So someone may be turning 20 or turning 19 this year. 9 is like, with the World card, things are wrapping up and going to the next phase. You know what I mean? And I feel like that 4 coins. So this could be like your child or someone around you, nephew or someone turning a certain age. And it's like, again, you have nothing to fear. Ending with the Ace of Cups. So we were just touching on this. The universe fills your cup. The universe has your back. The universe spoils you. Be open to being spoiled. So I love the ribbons. Again, son's birthday's tomorrow. Anniversary comes up on the 8th. Their son's birthday's on the 10th of July. So, you know what I mean? It's a lot of things to be celebrated. Graduation happened, sister's birthday. My nephew's birthday is before my eldest. So, you know what I mean? It's like, be thankful. So, yeah, it is exhausting sometimes, but it's like, you know what? We won't relive this moment ever again. And be thankful for those moments. Be thankful for celebrations. Be thankful that we have, these milestones to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you're a parent and it's just like, how did we get to this point? You know what I mean? Like, we know how we got to this point, but you know what I mean? It's so beautiful to watch them grow and change into individuals. And you know what I mean? It's just like, if you have, people that are worth celebrating in your life, be thankful for them, and again, it's like you will find time to rest somewhere somehow, like cat naps and stuff like that. So, You know what I mean? Just take it easy with yourself and things will unfold the way they're supposed to. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick card pull. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next one.